Hi, my name is Roberto Viguera Jr. This is
Isaac Rodriguez.
Esme Tinejero.
Otis Passman.
Ethan Maldonado.
Carolina Canegas.
and we're presenting our presentation, Pressure from Anxiety to Achievement. So what you guys are going to learn are the main topics. First one being student exam anxiety, the effects of it, and then how to manage them. And to start it all off, I'd like to ask a question to you. How is everybody? How are y'all feeling about exams? Since, but anxious, excited? Raise your hands. Anxious? Who's excited for them? But yeah, more or less, everyone is just scared for them. And good reason. I mean, some of them are cumulative, some of your entire year, semester. And with this out of the way, I'd like to hand it off to Isaac.
So I got stress factor. Like, what is anxiety? Anxiety is the feeling you can't shake. That uneasy feeling, the shakiness. I have it right now. Y'all can tell. And then we also have student anxiety. Like, oh my gosh, I have all this work. I have an exam. Like, I'm freaking, that's how I feel right now. And everybody goes through that. So we can get some. This presentation, we're gonna go ahead and get some research about that. I'll go ahead and pass it on to Carolina.
So we have research of student anxiety. Like here we have a picture that says anxiety in college. It's college students in the USA. 63% felt overwhelming anxiety in the past year, and 23% have been diagnosed or treated by a mental health professional for anxiety. According to the study in the Universal Journal of Education Research between the test taking scale and the test anxiety scale of the language and learning study strategies inventory, there was a strong correlation between that test anxiety and SAT and general quantitative scores. The cluster of students who had test anxiety had difficulty coping with stress of the test, which resulted in lower standardized test scores. 63% have felt overwhelming anxiety in the past year. 23% have been diagnosed or treated by mental health for anxiety. 57% of female students report overwhelming anxiety compared to 40% of male students. More than 50% of college students have suicidal thoughts, which is not good. So we need to reach out for help. And now I'm going to give it to Otis. To Esme, I apologize.
So hearing those numbers, I don't want you to hear 23%, 40%, and think that I can't be among that. Mind you, 23% of people who have expressed or submitted. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure most of us in this room actually think that this stress is very normal, but you right now could be experiencing student anxiety. And when you hear that word, some people are like, anxiety, that's a mind game. I could overcome it. What does anxiety do to you? What are the effects that it could damage? Exams and scores. Since we were little babies, we would take these exams to show us not only our academic validation, but also if we're on the right track. If you have great exam scores, a great student GPA, what does that give you? Scholarships, opportunities, and chances. That is why our education is a privilege. We get that. What happens when we don't get those scores? We can miss out on great chances, great opportunities, and sometimes our programs, we have to follow a strict program, like with a high GPA. Anxiety could be a very greedy thing. It takes your attention, your time, your mentality. You can't focus. How could you? You're too focused on one assignment because you have 6 more that you even feel discouraged. You don't even want to open Blackboard. You don't even want to look at your laptop. People call that senioritis in high school, but that could have very much been student anxiety. And thankfully, with the research presented, we know it's a very real thing.
So can I get rid of anxiety? It's anxiety. It's a normal but manageable thing. You can't really get rid of it too much, but you can handle it. It's part of what makes us human. So even though you know you have it and you don't want it, it's still gonna be lingering right there. So yeah, but luckily at UTHB we have so many things at our disposal to help it. for instance, I myself have been under a lot of like anxiety as of late. You know, we got our exams coming up, my partners have been saying, and I've been falling behind a bit because like I don't have transportation here anymore. I got stuck in the flood and lost my car, and so I've been trying to figure out ways to school, asking people for rides to the bus stop because my parents can't take me, and so like having to balance work, living like 7 or 8 cities away, and then schoolwork and my girlfriend and family and friends. It's just so much to pile up. And so luckily I've been using the resources we have here at UTRGV, like the Student Center to help me catch up on work and get studying in that for classes that I had to miss. And so and on my own I've been using stuff like YouTube, hanging out with my dog to help me soothe those anxious thoughts and feelings. And so when it comes to anxiety, you can let it linger in you and you can let it pester you, or you can choose to fight back against it. And if you fight back against it, it can really help you out. So like now I'm catching up in all my classes. I came rushing in right here because I was talking to a professor asking if there's any way I could do some extra work to boost my grade. And yeah, so as long as you're able to put the work in to combat your anxiety, you can find a way to get rid of it or manage it. Next slide.
One of the resources that can help you manage these classes and homework is the Learning Center. Their primary goal is to promote student success across all levels by fostering independent learning. What that means is that you go in there and it's a walk-in or by appointment if you want to do it online. You go in there with your materials from class or study guides, and they'll try to make sure that you understand like what exactly is going on within all those questions. They'll try to make sure that like when you run into that type of question again during say an exam or an assignment or a group project, that you'll understand how to conceptualize it then and there by yourself instead of you just learning the answers like you would, let's say, if you were by yourself. I know that when I would study by myself, I wouldn't really try to understand how to solve the question. I would just want to get the answer for the question. Tutoring Center operates on the first come first served basis, and students are encouraged to come prepared with relevant materials. Again, like whatever lessons you're going on over with your professors, or exam guides, like study guides for them. When I took chemistry for engineers with Ning Wang, I would use the study guides that she would give us, and I would take it to the Learning Center so that I can make sure I understood everything that was under chapters. Because I know if I had to do it all by myself, and it was like an exam that covers a cumulative exam, where it covers like multiple lessons that you've gone over so far during the semester, I probably would have failed. But it's like I would take the study guides and I would understand each chapter separately, and then be able to understand and conceptualize those programs or problems by myself. It helped me a lot. The Learning Center is located between the library and the science building, and if you go to the next slide, we have it on the map. It is number 32. So the long orange line is the Pearl Trail, and then 33 is the library. So if you're coming from outside the library, you would see it across, like right there. And then if you're coming from outside the science building, like if you're entering onto the Pearl Trail, then you'll see it right there, like as you're coming out.
All right, back to me. So what did we learn about our presentation? Well, we covered what student exam anxiety is, the effects of it, and how to manage it. Hopefully, you guys learned the gist of it. And that leaves me with this. Any questions? Q&A, real quick. Raise your hands.
Okay, well, to meet time then, we had a slogan in the beginning. We developed it when we all met up in the meeting. Because we were all so stressed, even making this PowerPoint was a little hazy. I'm sure the feeling could be mutual for some. Every final project right now, it's group project to show how well do we work with others. Even when stressed, we managed to make the slogan. It's called Turn Stress into Success. I want you to remember these words because when we're stressed, knowing myself, I tend to disconnect. even here, although I was on the ball with this assignment, part of me did want to just, well, I'll just type a little here. But when you become more engaged with it, that's when you get what you're paying for. You're paying for these classes not only to learn a topic. This is your future. This is what you're applying to your job. And there is no shame in reaching out. There is no shame in getting tutoring. Because tutoring can help a lot. So thank you so much.
Resources. And thank you.
Thank you.